Join us as we speak with a whole host of expert navigators through the land of parenting. They'll offer you stories, validation, and a few directions to help you find your way if you're feeling a little lost. Our children need so much support, and to support them in this way, we need a map for the sometimes bumpy terrain of parenting. And when things inevitably change, we need a new map. A whole bunch of maps so that we can find our way with mindfulness, attunement, play, and self-care. Today, I'm really pleased to welcome Kylie, who is a theatre maker and puppeteer, which is such a cool way to describe someone, dedicated to creating accessible, meaningful arts experiences. She was a graduate of the WA Academy of Performing Arts. She has built a diverse career performing, directing and facilitating across Australia and internationally. She currently serves as the Director of Puppet Playtime at Spare Parts Puppet Theatre, where she designs a program that uses puppetry and beloved children's books to foster social emotional wellbeing and early literacy in 3 to 5 year olds. So her recent performances and creative highlights include Wonderbox, Homeward Bound, Hachiko.
Yeah, Hachiko.
Hachiko, the Loyal Dog and the Little Prince, and guest facilitating puppetry workshops for WAAPAs, the Caucasian Chalk Circle, and touring regional Western Australia to deliver children's theatre and puppetry workshops. So she's driven by the belief that art is essential to the human experience and is passionate about using storytelling as a powerful avenue for connection and shared understanding. I'm so excited to get to talk to you. That's amazing. Welcome.
Thanks for that lovely introduction.
Yeah, amazing. Thanks, Kylie. Thanks for coming on. Yeah. So we would love to know first a little bit about you, how you got to this point, why you're passionate, maybe about some of the concepts that drive this podcast, mindfulness, attunement, play and self-care, or possibly all four. And, yeah, we'd just love to learn a bit more about you.
Yeah. Well, firstly, thank you so much for having me. My name is Kylie. I am a performer based here in Perth. I'm now the Director of Puppet Playtime at Spare Parts Puppet Theatre. So I've had the opportunity to work with some pretty amazing people and for some really amazing companies, one being Spare Parts. Yeah. And how did I end up here?
Yeah, it's a big question, right?
So I think around the time that I became pregnant with my daughter, this opportunity to direct this program kind of just fell into my lap. So when performance was put on hold, and I guess with my experiences and my education background in arts and crafts and all of that, it was perfect. I couldn't say no. And the program, Puppet Playtime, is pretty wonderful. It's about a lot of things, but mainly about promoting the social and emotional wellbeing in 3 to 5 year olds, as well as their parents and caregivers, which is really lovely.
Yeah.
So I guess I can tell you a little bit about the program.
Love to hear more about it. And I would love to say as well, I think it's amazing that there are programs like that one and like some of the ones that we're all funded by Healthway, which is amazing.
So we use a lot of the same framework.
Exactly. But I think those early years, it's so important that we do have the focus on social and emotional wellbeing there, because it's the foundation for everything. But also that it's like that's the foundation for that child's life. But in order to support the child, we really need to be supporting the parents, right?
Absolutely.
And you know this as a parent of a little one yourself.
Yeah. And it's, that's kind of what it's becoming about, and becoming more,
more of a focus for
more
that.
of the focus, I think. And I'll explain that in a second. Yeah. So Puppet Playtime, each month we feature a different book along with a different form of puppetry. So it's a really fun way of sharing a story to children of that age, along with promoting a different wellbeing factor each month. So For example, today, this month, we're sharing the story called Little Light, which is a story about a town that's surrounded by walls. And one by one, bricks go missing, and essentially the town people realise that hiding behind walls are people that celebrate different food, and they dance to unusual music, and they speak different languages, and long story short, they celebrate all these things. And so the wellbeing factor that's tied to this month is trying something new. And so along with the performance, we have activities set up. So the performance itself goes for about 10 minutes, and then for half an hour, parents get to play with their kids at these stations. And then we offer a resource for parents to take home, which is, becoming more and more about supporting the parent so they can be a good parent. And that leads me into the next part of your question, which is, why am I passionate or excited about promoting mindfulness and self-care? And being a new parent myself, I think it's really tricky being a good parent when you're not taking care of yourself and you don't find moments to breathe. And I think also as parents, it's really hard not to put people before yourself. Your kids come first, your house, your partner, everything else comes before you. And I think we often say, we don't have time, I'm too busy. But the reality is that before you know it, you're running on fumes, you're running on empty, and then you can't find your breath, you can't find moments of calm, and you can't be present, let alone take care of yourself. So I think that's why this program is so wonderful, because the puppetry and the play, I think I see play as kind of like a stealth self-care.
Yeah, I love it. So that's a really good way to describe it. Yeah.
And I'm seeing it more and more. Like, I think going back to taking care of yourself, you can't pour from an empty cup, and so I think you're practicing mindfulness because you're forced to be present and silly in this joyful moment, at an activity station making a puppet. You're practicing attunement by getting down on your child's level and connecting with them and seeing the world through their eyes. And that absolutely is a form of self-care. You're kind of giving yourself permission to just put this mental load of, everything, managing a household on hold. And you're connecting, you're having fun, and you're being spontaneous, and you're filling your cup as well as your child's.
Yeah, it sounds really powerful.
Yeah.
I imagine you're getting some beautiful feedback, and I think
really beautiful
feedback.
Yeah. And I think also seeing that caring for yourself isn't separate either. Like, it's not on a different to-do list. It absolutely exists in these moments with your children.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think that ties in nicely to me asking you to maybe share a story about a map or a set of ideas that you've found helpful for yourself, or maybe the parents that you work with, when parenting does feel overwhelming. So the idea of this podcast is just to give parents some simple touchstones, some things to come back to, because we're all so busy.
Yeah.
And having that map of, this is I've got a pathway through this overwhelm. So what are some things that you found are helpful?
I think the idea of lowering the floor. So I can remember this specific puppet playtime. My daughter came to work with me, and I had this huge fitness ball that I was bouncing on in between sessions to get her to sleep, and I forgot to put it away. And this mum came to the session looking very tired and holding the hand of a very energetic 3-year-old. And the first thing that her daughter did was go straight to this fitness ball, and she started bouncing it around and throwing it down the ramp. And this mum straight away was like, no, let's put that back, or let's gently roll the ball to each other, or and just had this idea of what play should look like. And I remember going over to her and saying, "Oh, wow, Gabby's found a very lovely way or fun way to play. Why don't you join her?"
Yeah.
And this mum sat down at the top of this ramp that we have at the theatre. And, of course, Gabby started bouncing the ball on her head, the poor mum. But I remember her laughing. And I think for the next 5-10 minutes, she wasn't a stressed mum, dealing with a demanding toddler. They were just two people having fun, playing tunnels and traffic and just bouncing this huge fitness ball around. And I remember chatting to her afterwards, and she said she kind of had this revelation where she realised you don't have to make these perfect Pinterest-worthy activities for your children to connect. And often, the pressure to get it right is so overwhelming that really all you need to do to connect is lower yourself to the floor, get on the floor with your kid and just kind of be present with whatever's happening. Whether, however messy it is or however, different it is to what you're used to or, and I think just surrendering control a little bit.
I love it. It's almost subverts the question to say, hey, throw the map out. Don't have an idea of how this is going to go down. But but sort of get down on the floor with your child
get on the floor.
See where they're at, which is the attunement piece, isn't it? Tune into where they're at and let that be your guide. I think a big part of that.
So that could be a map.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a big part of that for parents, certainly for me, is also letting go of what other people think. And I love that you were able to offer that mum in that moment, hey, I'm welcoming this and I support this moment between you. It doesn't, she doesn't have to sort of quote unquote be good or sit still or all those things that we put on little children.
Yeah. And I think that's what I try to do for parents. I've also worked a lot with special needs children. So just giving the parents permission to just, it's okay, it's
judgment here.
No judgment here is what it's all about. And I think it's really tough. It's so easy to do that for other people, but, I myself as a parent still think like that and find myself, worrying about those exact things. And, it's really, really tough to just not worry so much.
Yeah.
It's the toughest thing.
Yeah, and just get down, as you said, to their level, focus on them. And I used to repeat to myself, this is the person I'm responsible to. This is the person I'm going home with at the end of, all these random strangers walking past who may or may not be judging me at this moment. Yeah. My responsibility is not to them. But it's so hard, isn't it, if we do feel that judgment. I think there's a move. I really notice now when I see a child having a tantrum or a hard moment in shopping centres and things, there seems to be a lot of support. It's really nice how often people are like, we've all had days like that.
Yeah.
So, I think the understanding of child development and children's needs is really growing, which is great.
I think so. And I think it's such a game changer in the way that you combat that sense of overwhelm as well.
I think you're right. Play is almost like the opposite of overwhelm, isn't it? So if you can open that door to play just a little bit, as you said, it's a form of self-care.
Yeah.
And it can really reduce your overwhelm.
Yeah.
And I love programs like the one you're running. It's like this kind of enforced, I don't think there's probably a better word, but a carved out time.
Yeah.
Where you can put everything else aside and just focus on playing and being with your child. So really powerful, important stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, it's really hard to find the time and it doesn't, it's not a long session. It's not too much time. So it's a little, it's easier than giving up a whole afternoon or, Yeah.
And what about if parents listening in are feeling a little lost and they are looking for a bit of a sort of a true north? an idea or one actionable step that they can do? I mean, I love that you've given us one. I'm really pushing the envelope here. You've given us one really beautiful, simple, actionable step, which is get down on their level. Can you think of any others that you've seen work or that you as a parent have found work to bring you back to, I don't know, your values and your heart and what you want in each moment with your little ones?
Something that I do a lot with Penny, which I find is a tiny reset sometimes because,
That's what we need.
Yeah. You need about 17 of them during the day, is to find an everyday object in your house and just see that through your child's eyes. So go into the kitchen and find a wooden spoon. Cool. And again, sit on the floor with your child and just see what happens. And I think that's nice because you don't need to come to a puppet playtime session. You don't need a fancy toy or a puppet. It's just, what does the wooden spoon become? Does it become a wand? Does it become a little person with a funny voice? But just, I guess, letting your child lead and just following. And I think that's really tough to not question and, try and control again. But yeah, just being an audience of one. And I think that's my advice. And I think it's nice because it's achievable. It's 5 minutes. It's something from your house. And it's a really fast connection and a shift in perspective. And you have to be present as you laugh, know. I feel like, that would be my advice. I don't know what to call it, but finding an everyday object.
I love it. And I think it's so interesting that these ideas about parenting, to me, are so entwined with creativity. So it's like you suggesting this beautiful, simple, actionable tool that parents can use, particularly of younger children. Just grab something from the house and sit down with them and, get silly together, is such a creative process too, and allows you to tap into that creativity and potentially self-care and well-being and all these things that lead us to have a much more satisfying experience.
Yeah, I think, and maybe I'm in the world of a 1.5-year-old. So play is, I guess, Penny's language, and it is definitely the case for younger kids.
I would say teens still. You need to, I see it as when they're little, they're constantly chucking the ball at you. And as they get older, so you have to kind of chuck the ball at them almost. You sort of, as I walk, I was so proud. I made my 15-year-old laugh the other night because I did that thing where you say goodnight behind the door and then grab your own head. And he had a good giggle. So little things like that. It's sort of those bids for connection, really. So it's still really important. And so important for us as grown-ups too. I think you've shared some beautiful stuff and beautiful because it's simple as well as parents, all those lovely books that say 73 things you can do. And we just need one really. And I think getting on the floor is amazing. And also bringing a prop in to see what's going to happen is amazing and a simple way to connect. So I love that. Thank you.
Trying really hard not to plan as well.
It's
very tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, thank you. And if parents would like to know more about Puppet Playtime or about spare parts, where can they go to learn more about?
So they can go to our website, sppt.com.au, and that has all of the information about Puppet Playtime. We have 2 more sessions this year, so 2 more months left. But then also there's just all of the information about what else is coming up for the rest of this year and a bit of next year. And then we're also on social media as well. We're on Facebook and Instagram too.
Fantastic.
So go there. It's always up to date with what's going on.
Thank you so much. Is there anything you would like to say to finish up? I've really enjoyed getting the chance to chat to you.
Just thank you for chatting, and it's just a really lovely connection that we've found.
Yeah, it's great,
nice
isn't
new
it?
friendship,
Yeah. And I I love that you're in that space supporting parents, and also love whenever I meet parents say thank you for all the work you do for your little one. It's really important. So thanks for everything you're doing.
Pleasure.
Thanks.
Thanks, Belynda.
This podcast is produced by Meerilinga, thanks to funding from Healthway. I'm Belynda Smith, Manager of Parenting Services at Meerilinga. If you'd like to know more, you can visit our website, www.meerilinga.org.au, or if you'd like to get in touch, send us an email, parenting@meerilinga.org.au, or visit us on socials. Thanks.